So can everyone see the slides?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Right. So today the topic is competitive advantages for evacuated blood collection tubes. And it is also an introduction of a really powerful tool to the sales executive of our products. Okay. And right. At the beginning, I want to leave a question for all the attendants here. What are we expecting on a professional sales executive? Right. We can think about it. We can leave this question. And as a salesperson myself, my understanding is that a professional sales executive could, first of all, introduce full product line comprehensively. Okay, you have to know what we are selling, what do we have, right? And secondly, we got to understand competitive advantages of your products, and also we have to be able to discover selling points from competitors. We know our selling points from competitors, okay? And moreover, we have to be able to demonstrate blood collection procedures correctly, because you're selling blood collection devices, right? And lastly, we are able to take care of basic technical claims from end users, right? And today, as I showed in red, this training section is aiming to help you achieve the second and the third points, which are understanding competitive advantages of your product and discover the selling points from our advantages. Okay, right. And before getting into the main topics, I want to introduce a book called Competitive Strategy by Michael Porter. He mentioned that companies keep themselves competitive by three strategies. They are overall cost relationship, so they cut their cost. They sell cheap price, they sell cheap products, they're able to cut their manufacturing cost. This is the first type. And secondly, they are able to differentiate their products from the others, right? Differentiation, different. I'm selling a different product than others, right? Thirdly, this company is pretty focused on a specific area. And I believe Approved is a focused company. Established in 1996, Approved Medical has been focusing on the research and development and innovation of its main product. You know, our main product is evacuated blood collection tubes and needles, and we have a deep understanding of the key role of this product in the control of variation before the blood specimen are analyzed. We call it pre-analytical phase, right? And however, as a sales executive, I prefer to differentiate my products apart from others. So instead of focusing on, only price battle, so to differentiate from others, we need to have some understanding of our own competitive advantages. So let's jump into the first section, which is 10 competitive advantages of our product. Right. I will put qualification as the first competitive advantage. Maybe you are pretty familiar with that. We are the only evacuated blood collection tube and full line of blood collection needles in China with US FDA approved. So you can see on the right side, it is the certificate for full lines of needles. You can see here, issued from US FDA. And let me give you a little bit more information about US FDA, because you might be pretty familiar with it. To get US FDA approval, a brand must be confident about its stable quality, in front of a long-term clinical validation in the US. And once it's proved that your product achieves clinical equivalence with the top local brand in the US with US FDA approval, and then they will issue you the K number, like the US FDA approval. Okay, and this is a sample for the substantial equivalence study we performed before getting approved by US FDA. You can see that we have the K number here. We have our company name, our product name, and we are comparing our products in front of BD Recruitanus. Okay, improved and BD Recruitanus. And I will get into this report later. Okay, and when it comes to European Union regulations, EU regulations, we are the first batch company in the world to acquire approval of this new CE system. We call it IVDR on the bottom, IVDR, and MDR certificate. This is the newest EU quality management system that has been released and about to be enforced very soon. So distributors like you have to make sure all brands you're working with are equipped with these certificates to print CE mark on their products in the future. Okay. And after talking about our qualifications, I want to show you something that you might not know. Improved Medical is actually a standard drafter and quality demonstration base in our industry. Okay. So we participate in industry standardization as a member of National Standardization Committee of China. So we are actually a drafter. We're actually a drafter of this booklet, Performance Verification of Vacuum Tubes for venous blood specimen. Okay, we are the drafter of standards. And on this wall, there are many medals. And one of them is, it shows that we are the member of National Standardization Technical Committee of Medical Clinical Laboratory and In Vitro Diagnostic. Okay. And also this one it's written in Chinese. It is actually the quality that we are actually the quality demonstration base of medical instruments in Guangzhou, which is our city. Right. Now, after these two abstract concepts, you might be a little bit boring. I want to show you around our headquarters in Guangzhou. Actually, we are a company with sales and marketing for sure. We have manufacturing, Also, we have our own research and development. To achieve this, we have several built-in laboratories in our headquarters. Let's walk around. So the first one will be the Enterprise Key Laboratory for blood compatibility of medical materials, Guangdong Province. So this is one laboratory inside. You can see that it's a big area in our headquarters. It is located on the second floor of our headquarters. Okay. We also have Guangzhou Improved Medical Laboratory inside. Right. And this is a picture of the lab. Okay. Right. And this lab is actually focusing on blood compatibility studies of raw materials to reduce variation after blood leaves human body. Okay. It's about blood compatibility. And right, this is another lab called Joint Laboratory with University in China for POCT and precision medicine. Okay. And they're working on this thromboelastograph analysis system, which is short for TEG. Okay, we actually have TEG, right? And this lab, we call it Medical Diagnostic Laboratory. This lab is mainly responsible for preclinical trials of products and validating the products' clinical functions, including biochemistry testing, blood counting, trace element, and electrolyte analysis, right? This is one. And another one, we have Variation Research Center. It is mainly responsible for all the related researches to control the blood variation. So we talk about variation many times, right? In evacuated blood collection tubes, okay? Right. Biologically testing laboratory focuses on microbiological control in our GMP production environment, sterilization validations, and other biological testings relating to our products. Okay. And lastly, we have a pretty special lab called Environmental Simulation Laboratory. It is mainly focusing on product aging studies, such as simulating all the extreme conditions during transportation. Because like in some countries, like in Middle East, it could be pretty hot in the during transportation. And in some places like Russia, it could be pretty cold as well when we are transporting the products to the destination. And also it contributes in our stability verifications so that we know how we could set the expiration dates for each product, right? It's about stability and expiration dates, right? So this is the end of the tour to our labs. And fourthly, all these labs worked really hard every day to keep our research and development going. And after more than 2 decades of improvement, we built up our own core technologies and secure them by patents for sure, correct? And let me introduce some of them to you. As you can see, core technologies we have many things. We don't need to read it. So core technologies are committed to variation control, again, of the specimens in pre-analytical phase. We are reducing loss from specimen variation and improve economic and clinical benefits for the lab. Okay, let me show you some of them. Right. On the top of the tube, you can see we've got the rubber stopper and safety cap. We have a surface treatment of rubber stopper to avoid rubber fragment contaminating blood specimen. Okay, we have also the color stabilization of safety cap to make sure high pass rate on mainstream instruments, because we know that instruments can read the color on the cap, correct? If we have many colors on the cap, many kinds of red, many kinds of yellow on the cap in one batch, it could be a mess, you know. So we want to avoid that, and we have color stabilization of safety cap. Okay. Apart from the cap, we have raw materials and internal tube wall. It's a signal one. It's a signature one, which is called bionic treatment of internal tube wall. So for the we have bionic treatment to achieve better blood compatibility for sure, and we can prevent blood adhesion and the protein absorption to tube wall, thanks to the bionic treatment. And we have PET. PET is a kind of a plastic. PET injection molding technology to have better water and vacuum protection. And we have better anti-heat distortion, and also for standardization as well. Lastly, when it comes to addictive, we have high quality serum we have high quality serum. We want to have high quality serum, we have to say, but high quality serum is obtained by high efficiency nanoclot activator and also high quality separation gel. And also our cell sleeping technology on the glucose tube. With this technology, we can block the interface glucose metabolism to have better glucose reading from the instrument, and also maintain the stability of blood glucose within 72 hours. Okay, and this is the patent wall in the R&D department office. You can see that we've got many patents to protect our core technologies. Right. So after core technologies, we know all these core technologies are not only contributing to variation control, but also the compatibility to instruments which our tubes are going to be used on. So in the fifth part, we're going to talk about compatibility to the main brands. Okay, and as a brand with 26 years old, we achieve complete compatibility with mainstream brands on the market, as shown on the screen. Right, and we keep validating our tubes on these brands to give end users more confidence before switching to a new brand. You can see some verification reports from Abbott, from Roche, from Impeco as well. Right. After talking about compatibility, we are on the sixth point. We just went through the research and development facilities. Okay, and now I will show you the other part of our company, which is production. So we're talking about production. Let me play you a video. Right. Okay, let's get back to the so I think someone said that the video is stuck, but anyway, it doesn't matter. So these production lines are all designed and modified by Improved, and they will be upgraded from time to time. So the picture here are the new generation production lines that were installed earlier this year. So it's a new setup. You can see it is a new setup, a new generation. Right? It's pretty neat, and it's a big one. And okay, right. Let me play you a video again. So this video shows that the built-in QC inspection of additive adding. So it's about additive adding. So every tube will be scanned by the machine to ensure additives are well sprayed. Right. So apart from the production lines, we have our signature QC processing, which is light inspection by human eyes. Maybe you're pretty curious about what do you mean by inspection by human eyes. So this is the first generation light inspection, and every tube should be checked before loading to the middle boxes. Let me show you how to do it, okay? So you can see that these two workers are checking every tube carefully and load them to the middle boxes. See? Right. Now, this is the second generation of light inspection with some key upgrades. Let me show you how to work. Okay. So you can see that the workers check every tube under the LED light, and the qualified tubes will be packed automatically by the instrument. Okay. Right. When it comes to the production capacity, we can produce about 2.5 million tubes per day on full load, and 200 million needles per year on top with automatic or fully automatic production lines. Okay, this is about production capacity. And also we have 2 semi-automatic production lines for some very special customers. And they're serving them for some customization and modifications on our products. Let me give you 2 examples. We know on our planet, we have some countries and cities which are located on higher altitudes than sea level, correct? This is the sea level. We might be located on 1,500 meters. And if we set the vacuum for sea level only, then it's impossible to collect enough blood to achieve the jaw volumes because of the air pressure, correct? There will be no way, because the air pressure is lower in high altitude areas. And in this case, we set vacuum for them according to their altitude. You can check the label. You can check the label of our products and see the altitude setting over here. Altitude 800 meters to 1,200 meters for sodium citrate tubes. Okay. When it comes to labeling, as you can see, we have several choices of labels, and we're happy to discuss with you if some of your customers have pretty special requirements on labels. You can see that we have normal, typical paper labels here. We have numeric sticker labels. We have barcode labels, and we even have transparent label, right? Okay. And on the 8 competitive advantage as a distributor like you do, to serve your customers in labs and hospitals, you will never want to run out of stock in front of them, correct? So Improve wants to be the partner to back you up, okay? And we have a really strong PMC team, which is short for Production and Material Control Team, okay? So when you place orders to Improve, the orders will be processed by this team. So we work with them to challenge ourselves to manufacture by order. So Improve might be the very small batch of the companies who manufactured by order, only to provide fresh and qualified stock to distributors, to you, and at the same time achieve fast delivery. Okay, because sometimes it is a contrary for fast delivery and fresh stock. Okay, we understand how to save costs actually, but if we produce by order, the manufacturing cost is actually much larger. If we build stock, okay, we can save cost if we do bulk manufacturing to build up a huge stock. And at the same time, if we prolong expiration dates without validations to keep our stock alive, we're going to save a lot of manufacturing costs if we do this. So even though we know how to save manufacturing costs, but we insist to keep our commitment to quality. Okay. Do you remember I bring you to our environmental simulation laboratory? So this is actually one of the stability studies and shelf life evaluations they performed. We want to be responsible to you, to your customers, and the people of your countries. So we print expiration dates responsibly according to our own stability studies. This is a copy of the study as shown on the screen. Right, and when it comes to the 9 validated materials for gamma radiation sterilization, actually we could not, or I don't want to call this a competitive advantage, to tell the truth. Why? Because as you can see, according to the manufacturing standard ISO 6710 2017 version, on clause 8.1, it states that for evacuated containers, the interior shall be sterile if unused. The container interior and any accessory or additive shall be subjected to a validated process designed to achieve sterility. Okay, to cut it short, evacuated blood collection tube must be sterilized. Okay, according to the standard. However, let's see the products we can find on the market. If we pay attention to their labels, validated brands, you're pretty familiar with BD and Grainer, correct? They have a sterilized R symbol. Sterilized R symbol, showing that their products are sterilized by irradiation. But we can see that some brands do not carry out correct sterilization process, such as sterilized A. It's not a suitable method for vacuum tubes, actually. I will give you more information about this later. And some brands even don't have any sterile symbols on their label. You can't find any sterile symbol on the label. Okay. Let me give you a little bit more information about the sterile symbols. Actually, sterile R remains the only appropriate method because ethylene oxide or steam could not access the container because we set vacuum already in the container. So they should be sealed correctly. Okay. And secondly, dry heat is not suitable for plastic container. Okay. And sterile does not mean the product is sterilized. So this is some information I found on the website of BD. So sterile indicates a medical device has been subjected to a sterilized process. It doesn't mean that the product itself is sterilized. And sterile A means that a medical device has been manufactured using aseptic techniques. Aseptic techniques. What do we mean about aseptic techniques? It's not suitable for blood collection tube. And when it comes to EO, ethylene oxide, it's not suitable. It's only suitable for blood collection needles. Okay, and dry heat, no. So sterile R remains the only appropriate method because the radiation could pass through the container without accessing the container. Okay, so this is the best and only appropriate method for tubes. So we all know that radiation is harmful to human body, and it is actually also harmful to raw materials. It's a tough processing to raw materials as well. So we can see that physical and chemical performance of the raw materials and finished product after irradiation must be verified, because after radiation, the physical and chemical functions of the materials might be changed. And actually, most of them might be changed. So we select the raw materials very carefully, and we only put them into production after verification. It is not a simple. It is not a simple process. Okay, right. And the last competitive advantage, I want to talk about ultra-fast customer response and turnkey service. As you may already experience from my colleagues, we have high standard to ourselves. We have high standard to ourselves on customer response. So improved team is required to stay online for 24 hours, 7 days. Yes, welcome to China. And customer inquiries from you are required to be responded within 12 hours after you send it. Okay? And in terms of turnkey service, what do you mean by turnkey service? It's a service. It is actually a series of service out of order placing and delivery. We, for example, we attend main exhibitions like MedLab, AACC, and Medica, and we could also help. We could also support our distributors for their exhibitions. So these are the pictures that we support our distributors for exhibitions, right? And we have regular end user visitings with you as well, and to build up the relationships with your customers and you, for sure. Right. And before COVID pandemic, we held Improved Partners Camp every year in our headquarters in city in China, so we have seminars, we have meetings, we have sightseeings and playing, and we have Chinese foods in China with you. So it is a really interesting activity. And as you know that China is opening, so we're expecting to bring you back to China in 2023. So moreover, we carry out seminars and academic trainings to you and your customers on site and online, like what I'm doing to you. Okay, we have on-site academic trainings, we have online academic trainings regularly. Right, and apart from these activities to support you as a sales executive in front of your customer, we have the improved sales toolbox here with many useful materials like blood collection procedure videos, like comparison reports, like compatibility reports showing here. You can see we have compatibility reports with many main brands on the market. And also we have qualification and certificates, which is shown here. We have CEs, we have DOCs, we have FDA certificates, and also ISO, right? So this information will be provided to all of the sales executives, and you must be more familiar with these materials, because these are the materials that are asked by your customers pretty frequently. That's why I prepare this sales toolbox to you. And today, I want to introduce a pretty powerful tool to sales executives, which is improved sales menu. So here's what it looks like. And if you receive them on your hands, and I think you will receive them on your hands very soon. So it's actually a booklet. So before that, let me give you a hands-on to this booklet. But I actually took a video, but I think it could not be played. I will use another thing to play. Just give me 1 second. I will play that for you. Okay, screen. So I think everyone can see the screen.
There we go. Here we have the improved sales manual for evacuated blood collection system. So I'm going to go through this booklet for you very quickly. Okay, so let's open this booklet and we can see there's a content page on the first page. On the first part of this booklet, we have certificates, which are FDA, CE, ISO, MedSap, or DOC documents. So you can see that on from page 1, we have FDA certificate here, FDA as well. And this one is the new EU quality management.
Right, let's I think they said that we don't have any, you can't hear any voice from the screen. So I will introduce by myself. Okay, give me 1 second.
Okay, so let's open this booklet and we can see there's a
So on the content page, you can find there are several parts of this booklet. And the first part will be the certificates, which you might be used pretty frequently. Like we have FDA, we have CE, we have MedSap, we have ISO, and we have the DOC document as well.
Content page on the first page. On the first part of this booklet, documents, FDA as well. And this one is the new EU quality management system certificate. We also have one for blood collection, any analysis instrument.
Okay, and in the second part, we have some compatibility reports to some mainstream brands of instruments on the market.
Analysis instruments, including Abbott, including Roche. We have Beckman Coulter, and we have more reports from the automation instruments like Siemens from Impacto as well.
Yes.
Impacto.
This one is from Impacto.
You can see we have everything. We have Labot.
Yes. Right.
Right. So after the compatibility reports, we have some white paper.
So we have a white paper,
like the FDA 510K substantial equivalent study,
so
which
this
is
here. The FDA
so
510K substantial equivalent study I mentioned in my presentation. So you have the white paper in this booklet.
This is a 510K substantial equivalent information. So this report
includes a lot of
with a lot of
raw materials
original data
in this study. Okay, you can see the raw
so
materials.
There are many original data, and finally, then information substantial equivalence decision. So there we go.
This is actually a really useful white paper in front of your customers, because you might be asked to prove the equivalence with the other brands like BD. So you can present them with this kind of a white paper.
Okay. We have with raw material.
Also, we have some articles that we have done in previously.
The full,
like it's a comparison article with BD. I think it's an SST tube
paper. with raw material, right?
So
Many useful information for them.
So this is the nurse poster. I think you have seen this poster before. We have the order of jaw when we perform the blood collection procedures. So order of jaw on top, and we have some centrifugation reference here. We have some clotting instructions here and some handling instructions here as well. This is really useful. And apart from this, you can find
order of jaw, the last page.
Sorry,
instruction for
on
you.
the last page, I prepare you an instruction for use in the last page, which is pretty handy because you might want to check some necessary informations like centrifuge, like clotting, like order of jaw and processing, and anything. So I prepare an instruction for use in the last page of this booklet. So you will be receiving this booklet really soon with your containers or with your orders or any way. So hopefully with this book, you might find a lot of confidence in front of your customers